so hopefully we don't wake her up. This is July the 5th, 2011, and OJ, was it last night or night before last? Last night, the umbilical cord detached itself from the baby automatically with the Lotus birth. It was only, let's see, today's the 5th. She was born the 2nd. So that's only 3 days. Not bad. Not bad. And I could really actually feel when it was about to happen. And that's when we did the spiritual bath with her. I took my own spiritual bath. And then me and Baba gave her her spiritual bath. And then that night, when we woke up in the morning, her cord had detached itself. So I think that was really, it just was really touching. It was really awesome. Okay. Baba, you ready? Huh? Okay. Baba's going to be the cameraman now. Say hi, Baba. Right on. Okay. Don't put your finger over like you. So here is the placenta. Automatically having detached itself. And there is the end of the cord. It's all dried up now. Smelly. So smelly. So what it's got on it, this is a chucks that it's wrapped in, but it's got sage and lavender on it. And you know what? Surprisingly to me, it hasn't molded. I don't know why, but it hasn't molded. I'm glad it hasn't molded, but it's just interesting. I did put sea salt on it also, though. So here is the cord attached in there to the placenta. And it's no longer good for consumption. If we wanted to eat it or put it in a capsule form, or, you know, like people do, it should have been done within 24 hours. Or 48 hours. Something like that. But we're no longer going to eat it. But we have the option of planting it. Some rituals use placenta and ceremonies and some stuff like that, which might be an option. Right now, it's going in a plastic bag, and it's gonna go in the freezer. So. And that is our lovely part Lotus of our baby. And this part, my goodness, That's 3 days later. It's still soaking up blood like that. It's crazy to me. We're going to throw this in the garbage. Be right back. Okay, so since this was our special baby bowl and our special baby placenta cloth, we'll probably put this in a bag or something as a keepsake to remember how stinky the placenta was. But you know what? I thought of cutting the cord, to be honest, because this thing smells so bad, and it was kind of cumbersome to carry around. And I was like, do I really want to do a Lotus birth? But you know what? Whenever I thought about doing that, something was like, don't do it. You know what I mean? Something in my spirit was like, just go through with it. You know what I mean? And within 3 days, I mean, before you knew it, it was done. You know, like, I know that some people's last longer. Like they say, it can last from 3 to 12 days. 12 days, that's a long time. But I guess it just depends. It's supposed to be a spiritual transition. You know what I mean? Not only physically with the placenta pumping out the nutrients and all that stuff, but it's a spiritual, auric kind of thing. Like, your baby is coming from another world, and this placenta has been with it its whole life, like that it's been in the womb, taking away toxic stuff as well as bringing nutrients to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of it. It's part of his body. It's part of his life. You know what I mean? And so for it to just be cut away from it immediately, it could be traumatic. And so it's supposed to be like this placenta is part of his aura, part of his body, that you don't just want to chop off immediately. I mean, just because of inconvenience. It needs to detach itself in its own time. And when you allow it to do that, you allow the baby to just transition naturally. And so that's what the Lotus birth is really all about. It's not just about the fact that you did it, or the fact that, ooh, I did a Lotus birth, but it's more about the baby's spiritual side and what it's going through, coming from this between this world and wherever it came from. And this is part of it. This was actually part of his body. It's like cutting off a finger. You know what I mean? If it's supposed to come off by itself, let it come off by itself. And that's what we did this time. So now it's going in the freezer with a little stinky cell. Along with, by the way, Ashe's placenta. That's all freezer burned. But we have her placenta too. And they will keep each other company. That placenta has been in my freezer for 1.5 years, to tell you the honest truth. My daughter is now 1.5 years. But one day we may find a use for it and do something with it. So anyhow, that was the whole placenta ordeal. And as you saw, I didn't want to spend too much time in there with the baby because I don't want her to wake up right now. But as you saw with her belly button, it's healing just fine. It's not like something you have to worry about. It did its thing naturally. Like, some people are concerned, well, is it going to heal up right? And is it drying up right? And actually, like, when I first seen it, you know, it was still kind of white inside. You know how placentas are? And it was still kind of bloody and milky. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. I did put some tea tree on it and some calendula. And you don't even have to put nothing on it from what I heard. But I did do that. And you know what? I just checked back right now when I started the video. And it's like almost looking like a real belly button. I'm just like, you know what? Yay. Like, we really did that. Like, and everything was fine. So that's that. That's how we handled the placenta, and that was a whole. I mean, the afterbirth process is just as important as the before the birth process, and I just really want to keep on documenting everything that I could think of to document, because this is the stuff that don't get talked about when you see home birth videos. People don't talk about this stuff because they're just like, I have my baby now and it's over. But there's stuff that happens after. Even if I decided to cut the cord, I should have showed you what you would do if you decide to cut the cord. But we can use like some type of makeshift thing, and I'll put that together later. But I did want to show you one more thing. Come on, Baba. Before we end. And this is this special thing called a Perry bottle. Let me come back in the light. So, this Perry bottle is what you use for your nunu instead of tissue when you have a baby at first. And like, some people don't know about this, so I'm just telling them, like, this is a good thing to have after you have a baby, because you cannot wipe. It's not happening. It's not sanitary to keep wiping yourself. It's not going to feel good. It's going to hurt. So what you want to do is fill this thing up with warm water, and it squirts upwards. Like, let me show you. Or like when you want to squirt down there, you squirt. And it's got like all these little nodules, right, that give a open spray. And you spray down there. You know what I'm saying? To clean the area instead of wiping. So I just wanted to make sure y'all knew about that. Like, find some type of bottle like this. I don't know. Some bottles work better than others. Like, you know, they have them flip top bottles and they only have one thing. They don't really work well because they just dribble. You need something that spits water. So just wanted to tell you that. I can't think of anything else right now, but if I think of something else, I will let you know. Bliss to you. I love y'all. I'm going to keep on documenting anything I can think of, but so far so good.